What a lovely day!
Welcome to the 1000th Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on this joyous 1000th show. So big shout out to Abraham Muhammad, Adrian Quintana, Alistair Main, Billy Highvault, Burn Fat Till My Stomach Is As Flat As the Earth, Chow Young Cat, Dank, Dave Rakia Gifford, David Wayne Foster, Edwin Johnson, Felix Hung, Fireball X, Godrockin, Jeronism, Joshua Balsimo, Kirsten Smith, Life is Short, Matt, Naibai, Qatar Craig, Reinhardt, Rene, Sally Ballis, Sam Hines, Skeptic936, Texas Mike, theflatearthchannel.com, Tina Baker and Tom Herkin. So big shout outs to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I'm expecting us to have a reasonably interesting startup show. So I've started the show considerably earlier than I normally do. I'd normally do all the setting up and faffing around before I actually get the show recording and rolling in advance of the live show. But on this occasion, as it's the 1000th show, I thought I'd let some of the maybe more mundane, we'll see, maybe it'll be exciting, conversations come through on this pre-show. So you can enjoy the dulcet tones of Chocolate Sane, Flatsoid and 10th Man, who are currently in the G Plus Hangout. Good to have you all.
Good to be here.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Righteous is Sophia.
What's that?
I say righteous is Sophia.
Is with what?
I didn't make that out either. It's slower.
I said righteous is also here.
Oh, righteous is also
I did say righteous, I'm sure I did. We're also joined by a few people in Discord as well, so we may get some comments out of
Chocolate.
them.
Chocolate is not here though. You called him out.
Righteous.
Hey, Redman.
Hey, did you see my video?
Um,
I put it in
No.
your DMs.
no, I didn't. Oh, the one that you posted to me last week, or what you talked about yesterday in
reposted.
Discord. 247.
Yeah.
No, I was just mostly listening yesterday.
So, what's going on with Simon Dan? Why did he pop up?
The comedy video.
A comedy video. Is this the same guy who did the trampoline video on the moving cart pulled by the tractor?
Yep, same guy.
Oh, it should be
Just
good.
giving
Then. So it did. I didn't see the video. I saw it showed up on my feed. But is he doing this for the 1000 show, or does he reference the 1000 show in this video, or what's he doing in that video?
Oh, he's trying to, how can I say, debunk our house questions.
Good morning.
Oh, gosh, they've only had almost 2 years to do it. He's waited this long.
Morning, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Hey Paul, good to have
Good
you.
morning.
Okay.
Hello.
So he's waited for the 1000 show to debunk the housekeeping questions. How far did he get?
It was actually, I haven't seen it either. Flatsoid filled me in. There.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to wait.
My only question was there anything outstanding that needed a rebuttal? And the answer I got from Flatsoid was no. It's just a string of slander and personal attacks on not just me but the panel, from what I gather. So I thought, well, if there's nothing actually outstanding to rebut, there's no point watching it.
Well, we have the whole show ahead of us. We'll see what comes up.
On a different note, got a nice shout out from Jeranism. So he does like a little section about 22, 23 minutes into his video, or was it 28? Either way. In his latest video, he's shouting out various other people, Kirk, Curious Life, DITRH, and myself, along with Owen Benjamin. So he's talking about mirages, and he uses the weatherman with the Joshua Nowicki image of the Chicago skyline. And obviously the weatherman's explanation is what you see here is a mirage. And then he takes the clip where I say, here's a picture from Ranty Flat Earth of a clock tower at 20 miles. That's my only explanation that's required. Whereas if you're a fundamentalist religious zealot, it's a slightly looming non-standard refraction hyena holographic projection of a clock from behind the reified Earth curve edge based on an R value and a begging the question presupposition Earth calculator. So he's taken that little trimmed out section, which was done as an advert for an interview that hasn't actually come out yet. So the interview with Roxanne and Robin hasn't actually been edited together and released. I just did like a little tiny 2-minute section just to promote it in advance of it coming out. But he's taken that little clip as a section in regards to the nonsense they assert in terms of mirages, because they do have to assert a whole string of nonsense regarding terrestrial refraction, 7/6R, reified horizons as Earth curve edges, all that nonsense. That's what they've got to assert. We just say clock tower as a flat earther. Yeah,
That was a great piece, by the way. I mean, we hear you say that so often, and we love it. And then when we hear it in that context in which that adverb was, it was fantastic. So kudos.
Yeah, big shout out to Jeranism. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm excited to see what's going to happen today. Same old though, right?
Yeah, as I've said that, the amount of times I've been asked, are you doing anything special for the 1000th show? And I'm like, well, actually, no. I'm really pleased we've got this far. I'm really pleased that we're really concise in our arguments. I'm really, really pleased to hear some of the arguments we put forth being propagated by other people in the Flat Earth community. That's fantastic. And that's where we are rather than the number that we're at, if that makes sense. So I was just as pleased and expressing the same sentiments on, 4 or 5 shows ago, because it's where we're at in terms of the argument that matters, as opposed to the number on the debate. Yeah, it's an impressive number, I'm not going to lie. I can't lie that getting to 1,000 shows is just impressive in and of itself, regardless of what the show is. But in terms of the arguments that we're putting forward, how quickly and concisely we can unpick things, like the pilot, I've forgotten what his name was, the guy in Discord who's talking in doublespeak about angling down 7.5 degrees to match the observation of Polaris, which is what they use to assert the Earth is a sphere. But he's also actually, in reality, angling up 2 to 2.5 degrees. But he's literally telling us that, no, I'm both angling down and angling up because I want to believe I'm on a sphere. Well, those sorts of concise demolishments of arguments that are doublespeak has only come as a result of the long journey that this debate has taken. Same goes for the Rainy Lake observation. It uses 7/6R terrestrial refraction, therefore begging the question. It's not a scientific experiment. It's not got a natural phenomena to observe, and the independent variables are begging the question fallacy. And the guy who's putting this argument to us, this pilot guy's only rebuttal is to say, you haven't read it. It's like, well, you haven't read it either, but when you read the intro to us, there was enough information in the introduction for us to debunk it completely.
Yeah, you spotted it right away, like most of us did. How can you be going down 7.5 degrees at the same time adjusting between 2.5 and 2.6 up? And when he was saying that, I'm saying, wait a minute, so your adjustment is between 2.5 and 2.6, but you're saying you're also going 7.5 down? So you got 3 adjustments? What's that? It was, why wasn't he adjusting between 7.5 and 7.6?
One of the things I asked him yesterday, I think he might have been on the show or somebody was on it, and I asked him, I said, does ice swell? I say, how do you know it didn't swell at the crest? And he said, well, it's just flat, whatever he said. I said, it breaks loose from the shore, and that was all his excuses to say that potentially could be a swell, or that observation could be something that's caused by the ice itself, just from how the dynamics of how ice works.
Well, you're talking about the Rainy Lake when it was snowing. Well, the lake is called Rainy Lake, so just so no one's
Right,
confused. So the name of the lake is Rainy Lake, and then he was saying it was snowing on Rainy Lake when they did these observations, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if it was raining on Rainy Lake. I think it was just, that was the name of it.
No, he said he was snowing. It took a while for him to get the facts out, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the clock tower and what Nathan just said shows it as well. It disappears from the bottom up because of the miraging and all that. It doesn't prove a curved Earth, though. It's perspective, it's magnification, it's all these other things. And another day it might look a little different. Skunk Bay. You remember that video on Skunk Bay? How the water seemed to go up and down throughout the day?
Yeah, I'm slightly distracted, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not there, but they'd like it to be there. Flatsword, where'd you go? You went quiet on us.
Sorry, I just got a bit busy quickly. I'll be back like 10 minutes.
Okay, dope.
I'm wondering if it's possible to like invite ballers on a show today, but like just kind of put our differences aside and just kind of have a friendly chat. Is that possible?
They have that opportunity every day. What makes you think
Yeah,
it
they're
can
too
happen
fucking
to?
scared. There's countless ballers in the Discord chat right now fucking tapping their fucking keyboard about gravity and all this other bullshit. I invited them on the show. They're too fucking scared.
Tell us how you really feel.
Well, no, that's how it is. I mean, the amount of
No, I
times
know.
I get people coming.
I just love his honesty and his candor. That's all.
But yeah, but it's absolutely true. I mean, the amount of times people are like, "I'd like to debate you here. I'd like to debate you there. Come and challenge me on this platform." It's like, you obviously are under the impression that I give two craps about where you want to debate me. I don't. Couldn't give a crap. But there is an open door if you want to debate me. You can. But you get endless crap from people who say they want to debate you, claim to be debunking videos, and they never actually come up with any challenge. They'll come in on the show and they'll sit on Discord server mute and deafen, so they literally can't hear anything. And you're like, well, why are you even here? Where's your response to the housekeeping questions? Where's your debunking for all of the things we assert? Are you just sitting there on mute? Or we occasionally get dudes like that pilot guy who, to quote him, said, "I'm just telling you how things are." In other words, he's so used to telling people what's what. When he comes here and asserts that he knows what's what, and then it gets quickly pulled apart, all he can do is repeat the same claims over and over again. Those are the people we do get, but the people who are in this arena and supposed to be fighting from the side of the globe with some sort of dogged determination don't come and challenge us here. They make all the excuses in the world.
Yeah, well, if you read my post this morning, I challenged like what, maybe 5 people to come and all kept making excuses. No, because Nathan.
I was
The whole
thinking
time.
no debate. I just kind of wanted to like get some of the old ballers that used to be on the show, kind of like, I guess, kind of like reminiscing the old times, kind of thing. Just going to Gem Panda and get a couple of them here.
None of them want to come in
You
here
don't
and
have
have their ass handed to them.
Yeah, but my point is, we're not going to debate. We're not going to be. We're just going to put our differences aside and just look back. I don't know. Look back in the early days.
Is that so? I think not.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I mean,
oh right.
I kind of grew up on
That's
the
not what
older
I'm thinking.
episodes a little bit.
Should they
So I
come?
just-
Obviously, this
what
isn't
did you
broadcast,
know-
so they're not going to hear this conversation until it's broadcast after the fact on Nathan Oakley 1980s. But if they did come, there'd be no way we'd be suddenly putting our differences to one side. It'd be, no, where's your backup for your claim that Earth's a sphere? Let's see it.
Well, it's worth a try. I mean, if it all goes bad, then I guess, I don't know.
You're going to ask a baller to put his ball aside?
Not going to go well.
Well, I remember one time in Discord, QE was around, and so was Mark Taylor, and they were able to have some fun and put their differences aside. So I'm like, I was kind of thinking, yeah, if we could have something like that, that'd be nice. Just have some laughs.
I think it's going to be a day of reminding them of their pseudo beliefs.
If I disappear and make coffee, will that be a cue for complete dead air for ages?
No, I was just going to read gravity is not a force, but you can think of it as a force. I think that's one of my favorite toe tags. What's yours, Righteous?
Mine, I didn't think of it, I guess.
What stands out? Well, Nathan's getting coffee. Is it Brenda shoe is a natural phenomenon?
Air is not the atmosphere.
There you go. Air is not the atmosphere. What else do we got?
What's up?
Any more?
Nothing comes to mind.
Come on, put away your video game. There's something there.
I don't know.
How about
I guess-
how about accelerating coffee cups from RC Meisty?
Well, that's Chocolate's favorite, I think.
Yeah, stuff like that. You can recall a few, can't you? You listen.
Maybe it's because I'm put on the spot. Is why I can't come up with anything.
Okay, I'm not talking to you anymore. Somebody else, and then all of a sudden he'll come back in. Who else do we got on the show right now? Who's here that I could talk to?
Well, on the panel we got Paul. I don't know if he's busy though.
Yeah, he is, or he'd be talking. Who else is on the panel?
Well, on the panel we got Flatsoid.
So who's the other guy that spoke? That said, air is not the atmosphere.
Oh, that's in Discord. That's Matthias.
Hey, all right, get Matthias on.
He's off mute.
Come on, you,
Yeah, I'm here.
you guys don't understand reference frames.
So, Paul, what's one of the toe tags you like the most? We got air is not the atmosphere, shoes, natural phenomenon. Gravity is not a force, but you can think of it as a force.
I'll have to come back in a minute. I was just throwing that out there real quick. I'm kind of distracted at the moment.
Oh, such an exciting crowd.
I'm not sure if Slick Chains had a toe tag, but I recall like around the 800th episode, like 802 or something like that. There were some good episodes around there with Slick, QE, maybe Anon, and some other flat earthers that don't believe in a creator, and they were discussing the ontological primitives. And I thought those discussions were very interesting.
Okay, well, unless you can remember it, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I just like the overall discussion as a whole, I guess. I'm not sure if
Well, what's it?
QE
Let's
toe
see.
tagged anything out of it or Nathan.
Well, QE had that one show, but it's either unguided nature or guided, that brought our creation, which is a creator, information, knowledge. So obviously, that's the difference in that argument, which isn't much of an argument since the thing that's being made, the effect, cannot have more information than the thing that made it or the person that made it. So it's obvious. The effect can't the effect cannot be more complex than the cause, is my point.
Okay, I hear you. You
Does that make sense?
yeah, I was thinking about this because I remember one time when I broke out the flat Earth on a forum. One of the things was that one of the questions that came up was you can't explain flat Earth without a creator, and this triggered somebody in particular. And he said, "Name one atheist that's a flat earther." You know what I mean? And I actually was able to find some on the Nathan Oakley. I was surprised on the
Really?
Nathan Oakley show. Well, yeah, like Slick James, he doesn't want, or at least that's what it seemed like, that he doesn't
Well, I
want to
don't think.
concede to a creator, or he doesn't see the proof for it at least.
No, I think Slick believes there is a consciousness, but that we're all part of it and we're equal to it in parts. So it's like the pantheism, Hinduistic, God is all is God. Somewhere in there, Slick has his point of view. But I won't speak for him.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm looking at the chat before the show. It says, Gleam puts out, shout out to Chocolate Sand for doing a wicked impression of 10th Man. See Simon Dan's lunacy. Okay, now you got me going. I got to see what happens now. My buddy Chocolate. I wonder if Simon Dan will come on and talk about the trampoline and the guy jumping with the two guys at the base and the side walls and how that proves Earth-based Coriolis. You think he might come on the show?
Um,
Has he
I
ever been
guess
on the
doubt it.
show?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay. He just likes to talk about it, but he won't come on. Is that it? Because I can't recall him ever being on. Maybe he has.
When I think of stuff like his show, I think there always seems to be a counter argument. There's always seems to be like a dichotomy of two things, and there's like an answer for like either side. And as long as there's like some sort of an explanation, even if it's not really that close or that good, as long as there's another explanation, it's like enough to keep people confused and not be able to narrow down the truth. So it almost
No, I
seems like
see.
that's like
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So there's a possibility of something else, but that's just surface level. But when you dig deep, one of them gets negated, but he never digs that far deep. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, share your pain. Come on the show.
Bear your pain.
Nathan, kudos. I'll do it before everybody else does it. I want to congratulate you officially, in all seriousness, to do 1,000 shows, put up with the hostile crowd, to refine your arguments, to keep it tight, making them better each time, to chide us when we go out of it and then explain why we shouldn't do it this way, do it this way. And then at times, even yourself saying, okay, I'm wrong. That just shows your heart, your honesty, and I'm glad to be a partner in this fight for truth with you.
Oh, thank you very much. You're going to have to excuse me. Someone's at my front door. Bear with me a sec.
It's probably some insurance salesman.
Before I went to the door, they'd rang all the other bells, which tells me it's not specifically for me.
I said, when you went, I said it's probably an insurance salesman.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. About 25 minutes, we'll go live.
Yeah.
So for those of
Hey,
you who are
Righteous.
watching on Nathan Oakley 1980, the live show will have gone out, I don't know, 10 hours, maybe a bit less or whatever it is, before this show that you're listening to now has actually gone out on the main channel, Nathan Oakley 1980. So to have watched the show live, you'd be needed to have been subscribed to Nathan Oakley channel. So there is a link below. So if you're not already, those of you subscribed on Nathan Oakley 1980, go and subscribe to my second channel, which is Nathan Oakley, which does have live shows weekly, and it's typically the home of the Uncut and After Show. So although I do put the Uncut and After Show shows out at the weekend on the main channel, through the week they're on the second channel.
What was that, Red Band?
Say again?
Red Band called my name before he started.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
No, you're good. I guess we'll talk about it later. What you think about that video, Righteous?
Well, I haven't seen it yet. I don't even know where you posted it. You posted it to somebody, I thought, in a PM. I didn't know you posted it on live stream
Hey,
at
Chocolate.
247.
247.
No, I should
Hey,
just
Chocolate.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How you guys doing today?
I'm doing good. I see you've been busy.
Who, me?
Yeah, I got on the chat here. Gleam says, shout out to Chocolate Saint for doing a wicked impression of 10th Man. See Simon Dan's lunacy. Ha ha ha.
What? What did I do?
I have no idea, but I can't wait to find out.
Me too.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Come on, Gleam, help us out.
I did an impression of you?
Yeah, that's
Probably
what
on
it
mute.
says.
The only one of us to actually have watched Simon Dan is Flatzoid.
Yeah, I don't watch that, man. I don't know.
Neither do I.
The only time I see anything about him is when somebody else is destroying him.
Right.
I don't know anything else. I know even Kent Hovind destroyed him, apparently. I saw Red Pill shared a video.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
even though I don't agree with Kent Hovind on most things, I mean, he's evolution, that's garbage. So anybody can so anybody's destroying them. Globers, flat earthers, like he's just getting destroyed all around, apparently. And then his little followers are going around, running around with shirts that say attack flat earthers and then get destroyed on debates right there on the spot. So that's pretty funny.
Well, I thought maybe you did a pun because I do a lot of puns. So I thought maybe you came up with a pun and that's what the reference was.
I mean, that's possible, but I don't know. Well, what I have been trying to do
No, he
is
just
get
doesn't know the
Here we
difference
go.
between.
Go on, Flatzoid. Give us the explanation. Flatzoid's the only one who's watched this video.
Oh, go ahead, Faster.
What happened? He was trying to say something. Now he's-
So it was a bit noisy. What did you say?
We're just discussing this video, and we're hoping you can shed some light on the confusion between 10th Man and Chocolate.
Oh, what happened is it was with what is scientific evidence for gravity? And Chocolate pipes up, what is gravity? And then Simon Dan's like, yeah, just like usual, 10th Man, you know, he confused 10th Man and Chocolate saying by each other. He's saying 10th Man doesn't know
okay.
what then it's all just we don't know what gravity is. That type of
I
thing.
see.
And
No,
he does. Mr. Simon Ed does,
Wow.
though. That's pretty
Take
funny.
pictures of the ISS. That's his proof for gravity.
Well, it's like the pilot yesterday saying his plane knows how to fly to gravity.
Yeah. Applying level to gravity.
Well, in the beginning of the video, the first thing he attacks is the intro. So from there, you could really see he hasn't got anything actually.
What intro? He's attacking intros?
Yeah, what the intro is a 90s, what a 90s. Yes, now I can't think of the name now. Yeah, that was stupid.
Shout out to Flat Earth Audio for making the intro. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome intro.
Nice segue there, Nathan.
Speaking of music, I'm trying to get conspiracy music guru, Flat Earth Man, aka, to come in. Just because, he was on Discord yesterday, and I'm a big fan of his because his music is pretty awesome.
He also got an indirect shout out from Joanism on Joanism's most recent stream in regards to a crappy globe Earth debunking that was explaining that he'd come across conspiracy mystic gurus' videos, listened to them, and then wanted to challenge some of the opinions of flat earthers. And then Joanism shows this whole string of what is claimed to be comments from flat earthers that are clearly globe heads making the most ludicrous argument, like somebody pretending that they were scared to go on a plane because they might fall off the edge of the earth. Like, nobody has ever made that argument. That's absolutely preposterous. But that's what they do. They held up a crappy straw man or some trolling globehead and say, this is how flat earthers think. And, that's terrible and all until they come here. And then they find out that the straw men they usually hang out, we're the ones burning them, not them.
Wow. That's the height of ridiculousness. I'm scared to get on a plane because I might fall off the edge. Oh, Jesus.
I like to get on a ship and go to the Antarctica, but they won't let me go there.
Yeah, it's a little cold. There's nothing out there that's like, oh my God, I want to go vacation in Antarctica.
I got
so much.
You can go to Antarctica. You can take a cruise or a flight down there.
Oh yeah, cruise. Yeah. Well, I've got to be bundled up the entire time. I mean, that's. If we're going for an expedition, yeah, sure, let's do it. But I'm not like, I don't wake up like, oh my God, I need to get to Antarctica. That doesn't do it for me.
That's like telling Lewis and Clark, you got to wait for a tour to go to the West Coast. You can't go explore on your own. I'm more DIY.
Yeah, I hear you.
This barren wasteland that has no plants, very little animals, but your poop will pollute it. Come on, guys, don't you understand that your poop will pollute this desert wasteland?
Just need a little bit of tweaking to that, Paul. Instead of "don't you understand," it's "you don't understand." Nearly there, nearly. You'll be a globehead one day.
Yeah. Yeah, I ripped Zanuck a new one with that crap yesterday. I just let off on him. His tactics and his nonsense on Discord, like, it just got too much. It's like, what are you doing here, bro? Are you like, what is your angle? Because you're smart enough to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. So it's not that you just disagree and don't understand the argument. You just have to fight it for some reason. It's weird. So
no, it's self-evident. Self-evident what he's doing.
In denial. He wants the Earth to be a sphere, and will argue with us because he thinks it's achieving something. Nature of our reality won't change as a result of a debate point being won or lost by Zanuck. But in his mind, winning an argument in regards to a presupposition of an R value or the presupposition of gravity, or anything he argues here, in his mind is somehow a little victory towards the Earth being more likely to be a sphere. It isn't. It never was. It never will be. Makes no difference what he does, but he's deluding himself. That's all he's doing.
The total takedown was when he was doubling down on a single reference frame to where you can observe Coriolis from a single reference frame. That was epic.
Just because you're still looking at it. That's what he says. You're still looking at it, so it doesn't leave your reference frame. Yet it's curving away from you. Why is that again? Weird.
Yeah, the doublespeak's got more overt recently with Coriolis because they have to overtly deny two separate reference frames in order to have their argument. It's pathetic.
Yeah, well, look at that video that was posted this morning by Kimo. I know Kimo, who posted that video, that logic guy with the cheese or whatever.
What's the general point? What's the point it's making against Spurs, did you say?
Yeah, with the cheese. With RC Meisty that time with the gyro. He's arguing that he said it just proves Earth spin, but in the meantime, we're saying Coriolis, and we're saying no, but he's not saying anything about Coriolis, so we're wrong. We don't understand.
There it
But I
is.
mean, proving Earth spin is Coriolis.
Yeah, we do understand. We can break it down quite simply. Coriolis effect is real. It's an observation of an apparent deviation because you're rotating underneath something that moves, or in the case of a drone is stationary, in an inertial reference frame. You are rotating on a non-inertial reference frame, and the bullet, drone, plane, anything that's not attached to the non-inertial spinning reference frame will display what appears to be a deviation from your reference position. You spinning beneath a drone on a roundabout will lead you to see what seems to be the drone coming towards you and going away from you, even though it's hovering. That apparent motion of it seeming to come towards you and seeming to go away, even though it's not moving, it's hovering, is the Coriolis deviation. To have that, you need a frame of reference that's rotating, your non-inertial spinning reference frame, in this case a roundabout, and you need an inertial frame of reference for the drone to hover in. So the drone's not moving, it just seems to be moving because you're rotating underneath. When translated into Earth-based Coriolis, a plane leaves the spinning reference frame, same as the drone leaving the roundabout, and it's claimed Earth rotates underneath, which would shorten duration of travel when travelling west. Because the Earth's rotating underneath. But that doesn't happen. We don't experience drones drifting because the Earth's rotating underneath them, or planes having shortened duration of travel. Therefore, we end up in a situation, as has been mentioned a few times, where Simon Dan comes along and says, here, look, I can show you why we don't have deviation. And deviation's the name of the game. If you're a globehead, you need to see deviation. But Simon Dan's too stupid to understand his own argument. His argument being that Earth does demonstrate deviation, the Coriolis deviation. The very deviation his trampoline being dragged by a tractor does not show. Moron. Has he addressed that in the video by any chance, Flatzoid?
No, none whatsoever.
Has he addressed any of the housekeeping questions in his video?
He was attacking all the house questions, but like I said, none of them were actually addressed. They were all just opinions from his side.
Didn't actually rebut any of the housekeeping questions. What a shock. None of them are rebuttable. He can't rebut any of them.
Well, if you took the gas press without the container, his answer was, well, air is a fluid, and the deeper you go down in an ocean, the more the pressure builds. So it's the same with air. The higher you go up, the less pressure you have.
Oh, right.
So that's the
he thinks
he gives.
because people can classify gases and liquids as fluids, that makes them the same. You see,
exactly.
In some of these other arbitrary classification systems, technically, I've got the same number of, chemical makeup and information structure as a banana. Does that make me a banana? Because fluids don't make gases and liquids the same. Now, the principal difference between the two is simple. One is bonded together, that would be liquids, and the other is unbonded, free to move in all directions, not attached to the other gas particles, but unbonded. So if you can explain why arbitrarily assigning them both as fluids would make gas that is totally unbonded and free to move randomly in all directions the same as a bonded liquid, it doesn't. They are fundamentally different. They are different states. So your arbitrary classification, Dan, is a big fat lose. Gases and liquids don't behave the same, otherwise they'd be the same, and they wouldn't have different names. Your classification system does not override the fact that gas can expand in all directions and liquid is bonded to itself. What a moron. That was his rebuttal, to call them fluid. Classify them differently. Wow.
That was like the first one he gave there.
Merely a classification system, Dan, you moron. Hello, Conspiracy Mystic Guru. Very good to have you.
Thank you very much for inviting me. How you doing?
Hey.
Very well, very well. You're a little bit quiet. I don't know if you can make yourself a little bit
Hey,
louder.
brother.
Hey, how's
Good
it
to see
going?
you in here, man. Thanks for coming.
Hey, no worries, man. Carry on. I don't want to intrude. I'm just here for the eye candy.
Fair enough. Very handsome lad too.
Yeah, I can.
Did you see Jaron had covered like a blog spot that had been picking apart some flat Earth claims after seeing your music videos? Did you see that by chance?
No, I didn't see that. No.
If you go on Jaron's most recent video to about the 20-ish minute mark, he's talking about you and your videos and how it led some, let's call it what it is, asshole, to hold up a load of straw men based on you bringing his attention to this subject. So you get a fairly extensive mention on Jaronism's most recent video. Check it out.
All right, I will do. Okay, cool. Well, it happens from time to time. What can you do?
It's all that happens. The video is titled something like ridicule or something of that nature. And he's just talking about their only current tactic to actually tackle us, which is to ridicule us. That's their only tactic at the moment.
Yeah. Well,
not
thank God
necessarily
the
here,
music has, you know, has reached millions of people, and if you reach that amount of people, you are going to get the odd prick, aren't you?
Absolutely.
There you go. Okay, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Yeah, well, you've got awesome work, man. Keep it up.
Thank you. Yeah, I plan to. As long as people keep listening to it and you know, buying it, I guess I can keep doing it. I had this conversation on Discord last night about, you know, where the music is going, and I really want to do it full time. I want to put, you know, my heart and soul into it, but I've got to be able to justify the time it takes to make this kind of music and to make these kind of videos, because it takes a long time. So yeah, I'm going to still do it. I'm working on a track at the moment, all about chemtrails. That's another story, but yeah, that's what I do. I make music. I'm the what is it? The drummer of this war, the battlefield drummer. That's what Mark Sargent referred to me as. And yeah, he's got a point. I'm just making the soundtrack. So you carry on, and I'll strum.
Well, it needs more praise. Music is an extremely powerful tool, and to wield that tool as effectively as you do deserves a lot of kudos. So not only are you producing music, which is wonderful, you're producing good music, which is, you know, I'm not saying there's not other flat earthers that aren't producing good music, but yours is very good music, let's be honest.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I put my heart and soul to it. It's just a labour of love, really. You know, I wish there were more people doing it, because, like you say, music is a very, very powerful tool. I love what it's doing. I love seeing the comments, people saying they use the music as a tool to help wake their, you know, their friends and family, because it's very easy to send someone a 5-minute music video, and rather than sending them a 2-hour documentary about flat Earth, you know. And they're very good seed sowers, you know, especially with the choruses being so catchy. They're very good. You know, they just get stuck in your head. And hopefully, if I'm sowing seeds one day, you know, that seed will germinate, and that appears to be what it's doing. So that's why I want to continue doing what I'm doing, because it's resonating on people on that level.
Oh, that's absolutely how they get utilised by me. So I send them out to family and friends and relatives and such, rather than a 2-minute video explaining why gravity's a load of nonsense, why the ISS is fake. A music video is far more likely for them to just start tapping their feet without actually realising what they're listening to till they're halfway through.
It's my version of mind control. It's there's so many bits and pieces in the video that you might not catch on the first time, and it all goes in. Every little bit of that lyrically and visually goes in and sits in the subconscious of one day, you know. So they just think, oh, look at this crazy guy. This must be satire. This must be comedy, you know. But it's going in, I guarantee.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're using those tools against us. You know, they're souring society with music. There's a lot of horrible psychopathic music that's put to a nice beat and a nice melody. And when you know, I like using Bruno Mars as an example, like Grenade. You know, it's a fairly sweet sounding song until you actually listen to the lyrics, where he's talking about giving up his life for a psychopath woman. You know, like, that's the kind of crap that we get programmed with the mainstream music. So if they've appreciated how powerful a tool it is, why can't we pick it up? And you have, so good.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm doing. And the good thing about it is my videos are very animated and colourful, and children like them as well. So, you know, I'm kind of doing what they're doing, because Nets are always focusing on the kids, aren't they? And just as a byproduct of what I've done, because my videos are colourful and entertaining and comedic, the kids love it. So that's another bonus. So yeah, we're doing exactly the same.
Plus, you got that look as well. You know, there's something quite abstract about seeing you with your hat floating around on the ISS, looking almost convincing. You know, it's just something quite profound.
It was my first video was Puppet Show. I think it was a 30 euro budget on that, and the only reason I spent 30 euros was to buy the snorkel and the goggles to make it look like I was underwater. But the rest of it is was just a green wall and a good imagination. So imagine if I had their budget. Christ.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you that was still one of my favorite songs though for me.
Oh, thanks, man. It's one of mine as well, actually. I'm not sure if I have favorite. That's a good one. I did enjoy making that.
I told him yesterday that he had me singing, walking around singing, "Don't believe in gravity" for a week. I couldn't get that song out of my head. Like, it's great.
I have the power.
Funny story.
And the voice switch that you do is insane, man. I gotta tell you.
Hold on, you got someone in Discord trying to say something. Go on, punishing pavement. Or pounding
Sorry
pavement.
about that. I would just wanted to interject that I have two children. I've mentioned this before, but two children, they love your music. And one day I wasn't with them, and they came home, and they said they were singing one of your songs, and a stranger actually stopped them and said, "Keep up the good work." Just wanted to let you know that all you guys, everyone's doing great work, and the music definitely helps.
Definitely.
Wow.
Cool.
How about that? My God. Well, that's good. That's great. I love hearing stories like that. You know, I've heard stories of, kids walking to school singing the songs, and some, parents have sent me videos of their kids watching the videos on TV, and they're dancing around in front of the TV, and that's magic. That's the sort of stuff that spurs me on to carry on doing this. It's just magical stuff that I get sent and I read in the comments. So, what a weird, wonderful few years it's been for me. Very exciting.
That must be lovely to hear that, the kids are singing along to your song. Whereas when I hear words like that from somebody who's contacted me because of the debate, I cringe. So I'm like, you what? Your kids watch? Oh God, no.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It is nice. I'm still working on stuff now. I'm working on probably my most depressing song I've ever made. It's a serious one because I've done the comedic stuff. That's all well and good. And I started writing a song about chemtrails, and the lyrics are just oh my God, they're so depressing. I'm talking about, neurological problems with heavy metals and Alzheimer's and dementia, and that kind of, it's really, really heavy. So when I'm singing it, it's actually turning into an Irish folk song, and it's got so much passion, and it's really quite, it's gonna open a few eyes, I tell you, but it's gonna make a few people cry as well. It's got a hell of a lot of soul and emotion to it, but I'm just working on that now. So there's always going to be so many subjects for me to cover, not just in Flat Earth, but in conspiracies general, chemtrails, the New World Order, the Federal Reserve, I don't know, vaccination. How long you can go on forever, can't you? So I'm never going to be stuck for material.
Did you say it was Irish themed?
Sorry, say that again, Nathan.
I heard Irish in there somewhere. Is that the style that the song's being written in?
Yeah, it is, only because just when I usually start to write the chorus first, because that's the catchiest part of the song. So I always work out the chorus first. And when I worked out the chorus, it was very catchy. The lyrics worked, but it sounded like an Irish folk song. And then I started singing it in an Irishy kind of accent, and it worked. And when Irish people sing, they can get really emotional, And with these lyrics, coupled with the lyrics about chemtrails and all the dastardly things that are happening with that, the song just, it's very, very, I'd love to play it for you, but I can't. I've given someone the exclusive for it, but I might put a teaser out on my channel, but I think it's going to go down well because it's something I haven't done before, and I like doing different things. I mean, my first album couldn't be more different to the second I've just released, and now this song couldn't be more different from that, and I like that. I like experimenting creatively. So just to let people know, I'm still working. There's going to be more stuff coming from me, and I hope you like it.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to the 1000th Flat Earth Debate live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum, which you should definitely all join. If If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon, and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. Now we are joined by Righteous Force, Paul, Flatzoid, Conspiracy Mystic Guru, Chocolate Sane, and 10th Man in G+. Very good to have you all.
Hey,
Morning.
congratulations.
Good morning. 1,000. Killing this globe.
What's going on, people?
We're also joined by a whole bunch of people in Discord, so very good to have you all.
Glad to be here.
So Paul Hall sends
Hey,
10
so bad.
$10 and says 1,000 pennies for the 1,000th show. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat, Paul. Really appreciate it. So let's do a bit of housekeeping, as it doesn't seem to get addressed by any fundies. I'm in no doubt that it'll be addressed once again by the flat earthers on this panel. But we'll see. We do have a Discord server. So any signs of Earth-based curvature?
Not from the United Kingdom.
Nope.
How about from
Nothing. It's
I guess it
none from the CGI
might
ISS
depend on your
Conspiracy Mystic
definition
Guru?
of level, though.
No fake curvature?
Just call me Alex, dude. Well, there's no curvature here in Spain. I live right on the coast in northern Alicante. And on a clear day, I can see Ibiza Island, which is about 90 kilometers away. So work out the curvature for that. There is none. None.
Awesome. Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
Not here.
Got something to say about that.
Nope. South Africa not spinning.
Mike's all yours, Babs.
So I just posted a picture in Discord. I was just wondering if someone could pull it up so you could see it.
Are you making breakfast, Paul?
I'm working on it. I stepped away for a second. Give me a second.
Do you want to lead us in while he's looking it out?
Yeah, basically, Bob Nodell brought up this issue a couple of weeks ago with Earth, spin, and Coriolis. And it left a lot of open-ended questions that I wanted answers to. And I was just hoping that some of the military men in here that have actually shot sniper rifles before would be able to answer this for me.
I don't know if we have any military men.
I
I am
thought Paul
a sniper.
and John were military men.
Who and who?
Do you want?
Hold on. Who's responding? Hands up if you're a military man.
Paul and Quantum Eraser.
Who and Quantum Eraser?
I
Quantum
dropped from
Eraser's
the
not...
army, but nope.
I think it said Paul.
Oh, Paul. Okay, go ahead.
I'm actually not. I said I am military, but I'm not a sniper. I never was a sniper, so I can't answer that question.
Okay.
Is it the triangle he wanted up? Is that what it is you wanted, Babs? I've got it up if that is.
That's exactly what I wanted up. Okay, so basically, a 50 cal sniper has a range of around 2 miles. Like that's the furthest it can shoot. So if we're standing at position C and we're shooting at a target B, let's say B is 2 miles away and B is in a northbound position. That means that if Earth is rotating, B is going to be at A after Earth rotates. So that means that the distance that we're shooting at A is going to be a lot further than it would be at B, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your point?
My point is, when they say that the range of a sniper rifle is 2 miles, what does that mean? Does that mean that at 2 miles the bullet just stops? Does it slow down? Does it start to drop? What exactly happens for those that have actually fired sniper rifles before?
It loses momentum.
Loses momentum?
Yeah, it's always the friction.
That's too loose. He's saying, what does that mean? Does it mean it drops out of the sky at that point? It starts to dip, therefore is no longer accurate after that point? We need a bit more of an explanation of what happens if the range is classed at 2 miles. What actually happens at 2 miles?
Well, I think it's also subject to relative density.
That might be. He's asking for a military man to answer, because I don't know.
You don't need a military man to answer. I could answer this, and I'm not military.
Well, maybe if we find out from
So,
Babs.
but Babs, are you trying to?
Go on.
Well, I'm trying to answer, but I'll wait.
Are you trying to say this Coriolis?
Well, he hasn't got that far yet. That was what I was about to ask him. So, where are you going with this?
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet.
Carry on. Feel free.
Okay. I got sniper manuals that I can send you that tells you everything that doesn't show anything about Coriolis. It only tells about windage and angle.
Okay, he hasn't got there. He hasn't got there yet, Flatzoid. All he's asking at this stage is what happens if the range is classified as 2 miles. When the bullet reaches 2 miles, what's happened? Has it dropped to the ground at 2 miles? Is it just starting to lose a bit of energy so it's not as effective at 2 miles? What is actually going to occur at that point that they designate the distance that projectile can travel? In this case, 2 miles. What does that actually mean? Shout out to Sean Tibbets for the super chat. Really appreciate your support.
I would say it loses accuracy because it's going to drop because it lost momentum.
But is that officially what they say happens with a range of 2 miles? Or is that just your assumption?
Well, I haven't shot a 50 cal though, but with the rifle I've shot, if it's got a range, let's say a mile, and you shoot it at that mile.
It wouldn't matter.
Hold on, 10th man. We're actually getting somewhere. Hold on.
Okay, I'll wait.
Closest we're getting to somewhere. Go ahead, Flatzoid.
I shoot all the time. I'm not military. I have rifles. I have handguns. I have a shooting range on my 33 acres here.
You're the man.
I could tell you.
Sorry, Flatzoid.
I could tell you.
Go ahead, 10th man. Tell us.
Okay. All right. So what I'm trying to say is, Babs, it wouldn't matter if after 2 miles it lost a little velocity or still had the same, because based on this drawing, B, the target, is now A. That means C, the shooter, has to aim at A. So B, here we are, Coriolis, can be A. So even if it's going at the same velocity, which it's not, because obviously it can only do that until it starts losing velocity, but let's say it doesn't. For 2 miles, it's the same velocity. You still have to aim at A because the Earth is spinning west to east. Now, what sniper aims at A to hit B?
That was going to be my next point.
Okay.
But the point that Bob was making was...
Hang on.
Fair enough, 10th man, but he's still got a point to make. So fair enough. We've got that information. Great, but he's still got more to come. So go ahead, Babs.
That's a good point 10th man made, and I was going to make that point later on, that if you are aiming at B, which is going to be at position A because of Earth rotation, your bullseye or your scope is going to have to be aimed at A. Because if you aim at B, the target is going to have moved while you take your shot. So you're going to have to aim at A. And that's something that never happens. But my question was that if I'm aiming at target B, and that's 2 miles away, and target B is going to be at position A, because of Earth rotation, that means that the distance from C to A is going to be greater than the distance from C to B. So I'm just wondering what happens when those bullets get to their limit of fire. Do they start dropping, or do they just continue moving? Like, what does that limit exactly mean?
Like I said, like the guy that came on the show yesterday, where he said, you didn't even read the article and you're already answering it. It's a moot point. If the Earth is moving and you're saying we're shooting on the Earth that's moving, you still have to aim at A so B can get there. It doesn't matter what speed, if it slowed down or didn't.
Did you have a further conclusion? Because if not, I'll add something to that, Babs. But the mic's still yours. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Nathan. I'm curious to know what you have to say about this, Joe.
Fine. I mean, regardless of the outcome, so if at the end of this we establish that 2 miles means, oh, it'll just lose a little bit of accuracy, and they'd factor that in and try and get good grouping by trying over and over again until they perfect how they take into account this tiny deviation that they're going to say is minuscule. Okay, let's take it as read, that they prove that you have to aim at A when you're trying to hit B, or whatever it is you're claiming in this example, and that extra loss of velocity has to be taken into account, and they prove that it is. At that point, you've then got them saying, right, we're proving that Earth spins underneath this bullet that's left the non-inertial reference frame. Well, if Earth spins underneath a bullet that's left the non-inertial reference frame, it will also spin underneath a drone when it leaves the non-inertial spinning reference frame, and you'll see Earth rotating underneath a drone. Likewise, you'd see it spinning underneath a helicopter, and you'd see it spinning underneath an airliner. And Earth, when travelling west, would come towards you as you flew towards wherever you were going. This would be exampled with an example of Charlotte, North Carolina to LA. A flight time of around 4.5 hours would be reduced to about an hour and a half if Earth was rotating underneath, as is claimed to give you the detailed description of having to account for this effect in this example you've given. So it's the same with Foucault. So I'll try and keep it as brief as I can, Babs. When I'm demolishing this, I would use the Foucault pendulum, because it's debunked for various different reasons by various different people, for its attachment to the spinning reference frame and all these other reasons. But you can use that against them and say, okay, the Foucault pendulum knocks over the dominoes because it's swinging back and forth in a straight line, and the Earth is claimed to rotate underneath. Well, at that point, you've got it established that you've got two separate reference frames. Earth rotating underneath the inertial reference frame that the pendulum moves through, or in this example, the bullet moves through, or in Neil deGrasse Tyson's example, the football moves through, or in my example, the drone is in and moving through, or a ball that you throw is moving through, or anything that leaves a claim to be spinning reference frame. So upon proving this example, that you do have to account, let's say we've got a globe head on the panel, yeah, I'm a sniper, I definitely have to account for Earth rotating underneath. Oh right, so you're accounting for Earth rotating underneath with something with a 2-second hang time, and yet it's not affecting planes, and your drone can go up from the ground and come back down in pretty much exactly the same spot without the worry of Earth rotating underneath it. Well, that completely debunks any assertion that we have two separate reference frames on Earth. We do not.
They're just going to say that the planes and the helicopters and the drones have control surfaces, and that allows them to adjust the direction that they're flying in, whereas the bullet doesn't have any control surfaces. It's under ballistic flight. So it's more subject to Earth spin than all those other examples.
I see. So because my drone has got control surfaces, it won't be affected. So my drone is on a non-inertial spinning reference frame, and I'm sat with it rotating, and I push the up stick on my remote control for the drone, and it's alleged by fundamentalist religious zealots that when it leaves the rotating non-inertial spinning reference frame, it will not deviate. Well, that's utter horse crap. If I sit on a roundabout and launch a drone from it, I absolutely guarantee you that it will seem to fly away from me as I rotate away from it on the roundabout. Having a motor in absolutely no way debunks the notion that Coriolis deviation will occur when you leave a non-inertial spinning reference frame. Neil deGrasse Tyson makes it clear. The ball leaves the reference frame and it appears to curve because Earth rotates underneath. Now, my example isn't using a spinning Earth, it's using a roundabout. but the principle of Coriolis is the same. Coriolis effect is real. We just don't observe the deviation in the planes or the drones or the helicopters or anything with an extended hang time beyond a 1.5 second assertion with a bullet or a football, because there's no need to suddenly account for endless travel times that would be reduced. If you use a football or a bullet, it's only in the air for a couple of seconds. But the reality is that if you leave, you being the bullet, if the projectile leaves the spinning reference frame, you will observe Coriolis effect. Doesn't matter if it's a ball or if it's powered. In reality, if it is powered, it's got extended hang time. It will be more noticeable that the rotating platform underneath it is rotating underneath it, because in the case of the drone that I exampled, it can hover for as long as the battery lasts and can seem to come towards you and seem to go away from you on a roundabout as long as it can stay in the air. Now, meanwhile, a ball with no controlled surfaces, I can only toss in the air for a second. So that's not going to show extended Coriolis deviation, but a drone absolutely will, because a drone's got a motor to keep it in the air. So this horse crap that's suddenly having a motor will defy Coriolis effect. Prove it with a roundabout and a drone. I guarantee every time you push the up stick, that drone will deviate from your position on the roundabout. Because it's got a motor, it won't. Nah, afraid not. That's not a useful debunking of the assertion that Coriolis effect is noticeable in a ball and a bullet, but not in a drone. It would be, when exampled on a roundabout, just isn't on Earth, where it should be massively exemplifying this claim to be deviation because Earth's rotating underneath. Just do a quick few shout-outs. So, shout-out to Grave Dodger for the super chat. It says, congratulations, Nathan and the team, on the 1000th show, crushing globe heads every day with logic, facts, and a healthy dose of humour. I don't know about that. Totally awesome. Maybe 10th man he's referring to with that. Totally awesome channel. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much indeed, Grave Dodger, for the super chat. Dale West Watson, also massive thanks to you for the super chat. Says, congratulations, Nathan. Another super chat from Unicorn Laser Eyes. Thank you very much indeed, Unicorn Laser Eyes, for the super chat. Says, congratulations, Nathan. Smash the super chat, everyone. Indeed, I echo that sentiment. David Rakia Gafford. Wow, $100 super chat. Thank you very much indeed, David Rakia Gafford. 1000th show is just distracting us away from the fact that Earth is flat. Rakia life. Indeed it is. Absolutely disgraceful that we should be doing 1,000 of these shows distracting people away from flat Earth. Anyway, thank you very much, David Rakia Gafford. Really appreciate it. Julio Pabon says, congratulations, Nathan. Stay flat. Really appreciate your support, Julio Pabon. Thank you very much indeed. Another super chat from Dank. He says, FED for life. Really appreciate your support. Wow, a lot of super chats. Thank you very much for all this support. Really do appreciate it. Verum1 says, sick of seeing people whining in chat. If you are a Globe advocate, just go in the show already and present your case. Indeed, the door is open to all. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat, Verum1. Really appreciate it.
Nice.
I would just
That
like
was
to
perfect.
say, you
would observe more of a deviation with more hang time. I agree with that 100%.
Oh, thank you. It's nice to have a friendly putting the devil's advocate argument and giving a really concise concession at the end. It's almost alien to me, Babs, but thank you.
Problem.
But don't you know, Nathan, that the momentum of that object has to be conserved? That's why you don't see deviation. Don't you know this? Come on.
Well, wouldn't it be retained from a football then? Or a bullet?
Well, it's supposed to be. It'll maintain its momentum of the trajectory it was originally traveling in. So yes, it should.
Well, if things retain their momentum, there's two problems. It's a first law of thermodynamics violation. If you've got a drone, for example, retaining or claiming to be retaining the angular velocity of the planet as it spins, presupposed planet I might add, then you're going to have it going up and increasing its velocity to match the tangential velocity that's apparently retained. Well, it can't increase its energy. That's a violation of a law of nature. It's just a just so story to get around the fact that helicopters can hover, and they don't have to hover at a greater tangential velocity when they increase their altitude. So, no, unfortunately not, Paul. Retention of the angular velocity would be a defiance of Coriolis effect. So to say, it's like, which one do you want? Do you want it to retain the angular velocity and not have any deviation? In which case, go and tell Neil deGrasse Tyson he's an idiot. Why are you asserting Earth's got Coriolis effect? When clearly, we're retaining the velocity that we spin at, and this isn't a globe proof, because that's exactly what they're saying. When they say, no, it retains the spin speed, well, then it's not demonstrating Coriolis effect, and you fundies who think you live on a globe need it to show deviation. That's what's claimed to prove it spins. Explaining why you don't see deviation, now that's not proving it spins. That was the problem Simon Dan the moron had, showing us trampoliners that are not deviating. Well, globe deviation is what you need to prove it spins, you morons. There's supposed to be Coriolis effect.
Do you really
Nathan,
not
you don't have time for this long
Coriolis,
argument.
Nathan?
You have super chats to shout out.
Fair enough, Arwin. I'll take that advice. So shout out to Emma UK. Says, keep up the good work, everyone. Thank you very much indeed, Emma UK, for the super chat. Also, Red Pill Philosophy. Woo! Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. It says, 1,000 shows. The globe is dead. Couldn't agree with you more, Red Pill Philosophy. Shout out to you, my friend. Eric111 says, congratulations on 1,000 shows, Nathan, and everyone on the panel. So thank you very much, Eric111. Really appreciate your support. And last but by no means least, Paraplegic Bear, who says, with super chat, congratulations on 1,000 shows. Been watching since show 15. Wow, great job. I despise Cavendish. Sorry, the other super chat's coming in. Loving soy boys. Shout out to Skeptic936 also for the super chat without any comment, so just wants to give me money. Thank you very much, Skeptic936, who's also one of my Patreons, and another one of my Patreons, and another one. So Tina Baker, thank you very much indeed for the support. Really do appreciate it, and thank you for supporting me on Patreon. Skeptic936, Tina Baker, and Naibai, who have all just chatted one after the next. So Tina Baker says, it's a good day to be a flat earther. Congratulations. And Naibai, who just sent me money. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. Really, really appreciate it.
Hey, Nathan.
Hello. Is that Brenda? Good to have you.
Yes. Do you have a picture, diagram, map, drawing, or image of the flat Earth?
Me personally, no, I don't. I'm sorry.
Does anybody have a map of the flat Earth, an image, a drawing, or a photograph of any kind?
All maps are flat.
All pictures are of the flat Earth.
And
Do you
all
have a
maps are
photograph
model.
or
There you
image
go.
or drawing of the flat Earth?
Yes, I've just said all pictures would be of the flat plane we dwell atop. All of them, without exception.
I could doodle one up for you real quick if you want, Brenda. I don't know.
No,
That'll help.
one showing.
Me too.
One showing the entire flat Earth. Do you have a photograph or drawing, sketch, anything?
Do you know
of
what
the entire
okay,
flat Earth
no worries.
representing?
No.
Oh, really? Could you please present a scale that weighs all mass, please? Because that's also very possible, right? You're asking us to do something that's technically impossible, because our view doesn't reach that far.
I don't know what you're responding to, Arwin.
Okay,
I was asking Nathan if
what's your point?
If flat Earth community has, I was asking flat Earth community if you have produced a map or drawing or sketch of the flat Earth and how the continents are arranged and the size and relation of the continents to each other.
Okay.
Have you done
Let
that?
me know when you ended.
What do you
Let me
mean
know when
we're
this
asking
question, which
about
never
it,
seems to
community?
end, has got an ending. Is that the end of the question?
Yeah. Do you have that?
No, Brenda. Do you have that of a globe, even though that's impossible to achieve with a globe?
So you don't have a map of the flat Earth?
Would that be a no, Brenda?
No. And
Since you wanna
I'm
just
now
gloss
asking
over
you,
his
Brenda,
question?
Brenda, I've given you your answer, and I've also asked you if you have the same for a globe, given that that is physically impossible to achieve with a globe.
Well, yes, it is physically possible. Yes.
So you think it's physically possible to take a picture of the entirety of a globe?
We have a map and a representation of the globe. Yeah.
Sorry, that's not what I asked. I'll just parrot off your question. You repeated yours 5 times, even in the face of me trying to say no about 10 times. But you haven't actually answered my question. You have challenged me to provide a picture of the entirety of the flat plane we dwell atop. I'm asking you, given that it is absolutely, unequivocally impossible to acquire a picture of the entirety of a spherical surface. Have you got that, Brenda?
Yes, we do.
No, you don't. You cannot physically achieve a picture of the entirety of a spherical surface. That would be impossible. Just do a quick few shout outs. So, shout out to Rufus Leakin for the super chat, who says, please tell me, what is the episode number which Brenda debates about the shoe? I can't find it. I don't know the number. I thought QE had done it recently, and I was holding out for when she said it, and it wasn't that particular thing that he cut out. So I don't know. Hopefully someone will respond to you in the chat with the exact number of when she claimed that a shoe was a phenomena. But I don't know the answer. I'm really sorry. But thank you for the super chat, Rufus Leakin. Really appreciate your support. Also, shout out to James Warner for the super chat. Thank you very much indeed. Really appreciate it. Joseph 369, again, congratulations from Flat Earth resident Joseph 369. Really appreciate your support, Joseph. Thank you very much. And Colin Dresser, who says 1,000 more shows. Congratulations, Nathan. Thank you for the super chat, Colin Dresser. Another super chat from oh god, my screen's scrolling away with super chats. This is unreal. 1,000 shows. Nathan destroyed the globe, from Red Pill Philosophy. Thank you very much indeed, Red Pill. SX0, good work, Nathan. Keep it up. Tell Brenda we have shoes. I'll do my best, SX0. Vern One super chats again says the UN has a picture. Indeed they do. Thanks very much for the super chat. Rambo Jambo, much love and respect from Canada, Nathan. Keep up the great work. And then a picture of a gun shooting a globe. Thank you very much indeed, Rambo Jambo, for the super chat. My god, this is never ending. So much support. Thank you. Brandon, kick her. She's about to waste the show's time. Love to the show. I'm sorry, Brandon. All are welcome. That includes Brenda. Flat Earth McManaman, thank you very much indeed for the super chat. Retracted his own super chat message. Don't know why. Thank you very much for the support. I'm sure it was pertinent or maybe misspelled. We don't know. We'll never find out. Pilton Pop, congratulations, Nathan and the A-Team. Undefeated, but still they scream, holding on to their fantasy ball. Well done, guys, all of you. Indeed, thank you very much indeed. Pilton Pop for the super chat. And Missouri Bear, he says, love FED. I do too. I watch it on the Uncut and After Show on Nathan Oakley shows. So go and watch it on Nathan Oakley for the Uncut and After Show weekdays. If you're not subscribed, there's a link below. Nathan Pill. I'm not tongue around all these super chats. Red Pill Philosophy, last but by no means least. Lol. Brenda is confused. Is a confused person. You can't take a picture of an entire globe. Wow, shaking my head. My sentiments exactly, Red Pill Philosophy. Couldn't have said it better myself. Stuart Swimmerton, 1,000 shows. Keep going. Awaken more souls. Hooray! Thank you very much indeed for all of those super chats. You guys are amazing. And I'm slightly overwhelmed by the amount of support. Thank you very much indeed.
So, yes, we can represent our model of the Earth.
Our model?
You can't. You don't have.
Can you show us that model?
Nathan, you're not done yet.
I know. I'll come back to them.
Yeah, it's called
represent means.
It's called a globe.
Brenda?
It's called a globe.
Okay.
So definition of represent is globe. Okay.
Yeah, that's the end of her argument, I'm afraid. She knows she's been smashed. She
I
can't
can't
give us
hear
what she's challenged us for. She's
I can't
challenged us
hear
for a
half
picture
of
of all of
what's
it, and she can't provide it. That's the end of it.
I'm not hearing half of what people are saying because of how badly you have this.
Try shutting up. So you can't provide what you've challenged us to provide. You can't provide a picture of all of it, can you? That's the end. You've been smashed.
I can.
Let's just say it again for this dipshit. No, you can't. On your reification of a globe, you can't get a picture of all of it at once, which is what you've challenged us to do. You can't do that. Why? I'm going to have to kick you out, Brenda, if all you're going to do is constantly assert that you can reach the criteria you challenged us to reach by giving us a photo of all of a spherical surface.
I agree. We don't have time to waste on Brenda when you have super chats to shout out.
I will get to them, but I don't want to have the whole show being just like constant, non-stop every time there's one come through interrupting to have the super chats. I really appreciate them. I don't want to put anyone off. I will read them out eventually, but you know, let's just conclude. Brenda can't give us what she challenged us for.
Yes, I can. I asked you for a representation, map, drawing, or picture. Any one of those.
Okay. So representation, who cares? You can represent the Earth as a roast chicken if you want to. I can just write Earth on a roast chicken and say there's a representation. So no, representations meaningless. Models, they'd be pseudoscience. We don't live on a model. That's called the reification fallacy. So who cares what the model is? In terms of a picture... No. Sorry, what's going on, Brendo? Why are you interrupting me?
Well, it's really hard the way you have your Discord set up to tell when you're done.
You're interrupting me. That's why you can't hear me. So if you just shut up and close your mic, you might hear. So models are pseudoscience. That's called a reification fallacy. Regardless of whether or not I can present you a reified version of what I believe Earth to be, doesn't mean I live on that which I represent as a pseudoscience model. The map is not the terrain. It's called a reification fallacy. I've said that twice in the same sentence just to make sure you're getting it. We don't live on a model, Brenda.
But you're wrong. A map is not a reification fallacy. You don't understand the concept.
Go to Wiki and just literally Wiki search what reification fallacy is. It specifically says with example, in quotes, the map is not the terrain, as the verbalized example of a reification fallacy. That's what it says. The map is not the terrain. Those are the words that it uses as an example of a reification fallacy.
That's correct, but that's
so
only...
if it's correct when you've just told me it's not correct, you're wrong. Now, there's no way on God's green earth that you're going to concede that you're wrong, even though you've just agreed with me. Yeah, it is by definition a reification fallacy. You're asking me for a model and interrupting me while I point out that it's a reification fallacy, then telling me that that's not relevant and it's not a reification fallacy, then I point out that these are pretty much verbatim the words used to describe a reification fallacy, and you go, yes, that's correct. Yes, so I'm right. So who gives a crap about this comparable model, false dichotomy? Meaningless.
You're not listening, Nathan. Listen. If you believe that the map is the territory, that's a reification fallacy. But using a map as a guide to the territory is not insanity.
Yeah, that's just stupid. To say that I think when I say your reification is to take something that is not concrete and make it into something reality. That's what a hypothesization is. That's what the fallacy of misplaced concretedness is. This is a reification fallacy. To say, well, no, actually what you mean is I think I physically live inside the paper map. That's stupid, right?
That's
no.
Insanity.
Nobody says that. Nobody believes that.
Shoe. It's a shoe. Get out of here. Go back to romper room.
Nathan, if you don't start reading out super chats, you're not going to be able to catch up.
I think I know where that quote came from because I wrote down the date when I wrote down that quote. So it was like June 15th. So for the person in super chat who wants to find that video, it's probably on that date or like a day or two before.
June 15th would be the date around the number of the debate is. So if you can go back through, I don't know, probably 100 shows and find roughly where June 15th is, you'll find that quote. Thank you very much, Righteous. Well done. I'm just going to do a few shout outs. So, JQ, this $100, wow, is not slightly looming non-standard refraction hyena holographic projection of $100 from behind the reified edge of a sphere based on an R value and begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking a curve calculator. It's a real $100 from JQ. Thank you very much indeed for your super chat. I really appreciate the support, JQ. Jordan for America, thank you very much. 1,000 more hours. 1,000 more hours. No, definitely not. That'd kill me. Brian's Logic, really appreciate your support. Also, again, just sends me money. Thank you very much for it. I do appreciate your support. Brian's Logic and Flat World Logic, who says, FED 1000, let's have a moment of silence for all the ball brain zealots. Indeed. Another super chat from Red Pill Philosophy. You must go and subscribe to Red Pill Philosophy. He's ace, by the way. Recently released a Kent Hovind demolition of Simon Dan, so check it out. I appreciate your sentiments in that regard, Red Pill Philosophy, given that we've been talking about Simon Dan on the pre-show. Not that I've watched his video, but here we go. So the map is not the territory. Why don't Globers understand such basic concepts? Shaking my head. Yeah, I agree. Exactly. Couldn't have said it better. We're of like mind today, Red Pill Philosophy. Thank you very much indeed for your super chat. Brandon, Thank you very much indeed for your super chat. You keep muting me. The way your Discord is set up is messed up. I have to go to work. I don't understand. I think he's just parroting off quotes from I'm going through a tunnel to your Discord server's set up wrong to you're muting me to any other excuse under the sun to not actually address a rebuttal that's come or maybe parrot off the same claim. Thank you very much, Brandon. Yeah, indeed. Dave Rakia Gafford, again, thank you very much for the super chat. 4 more hours of pass, not being on mute, and super chats. Rakia life in full effect. Really appreciate support, Rakia. David Rakia Gifford. And Super Looming Hyena sends $5 or £5 and says, "Congrats on the 1,000th show. Brenda is retarded. Spit lickle. Lick spittle." Okay, very good. Thank you very much for the super chat, Super Looming Hyena. Really appreciate it.
Wow, you made it.
So Nathan, can you explain to me how a map of London is a reification fallacy?
Now, if I was to assert that London was two-dimensional, like completely two-dimensional, because the map is two-dimensional, and here is the proof, and I present you a map, here it is modelled in 2 dimensions, well, that would be me reifying the map into reality, wouldn't it? Well, I'm not doing that, Brenda.
Yeah, you're right.
Brenda, I haven't finished.
Yeah, neither.
I don't need you to nod along, you stupid cow. Shut up! Close your mic and shut up. Last chance. I'm trying to explain a reification fallacy to you for the 3rd time. I don't need you to nod along. So I'm not reifying London into a 2-dimensional existence by saying that it is the same as the map. You are reifying our world into a 3-dimensional sphere because you have a model of it. That's reification. You're doing it. Don't project it back onto me, Brenda. Over.
Nobody is claiming that we actually live on the model of the Earth. We're saying that the model
we're not saying
represents
that you
the Earth.
are, you clown.
Representation is not.
Yeah, it's just straw manning us. That's not what we said. As I pointed out earlier, I'd say, and it was actually QE's point, that it would be insanity to declare that a matchstick model of a globe would be where I lived in physicality. That's ludicrous and insane. But to reify a 3-dimensional sphere world from a model you have of a sphere world is by definition a reification fallacy.
No, it's not.
Well, you're just dumb. You don't understand what a reification fallacy is. You're dumb.
Her argument is nuh-uh.
Yeah.
That's all she ever does. Nuh-uh. And you don't understand. That's all she ever does. Get her out of here. It's a waste of time with a retard.
A map of a thing is. The point is that you don't have a map.
So what?
Oh, yes,
the map's
we do.
Not the terrain. It's a reification fallacy. End of story. Sick of hearing
Hold
you.
on a second. From the land navigation site, it's tactical.com. The military grid reference system is a geographic coordinate system that comes from the Universal Transverse Mercator, UTM grid system, which is based on a flat world, not a sphere. Good night. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
However, if I now assert that I say the world is flat because of this coordinate system, that would be me using a reification fallacy to prove the Earth is flat. Now, I'm not doing that, but you are, Brenda. That's what you're doing. Saying because we've got a model, it means the Earth's a sphere.
Yeah, we aren't making that claim.
Yeah, you are. That's precisely what you're claiming. You claim the Earth's a sphere because you've got a model. That's what you've just done here. And you've not only done that, you've taken it one step further and said it's also more confirmed to be a sphere because you don't have a model of a flat plane. Now, were we to provide a perfectly laid out flat plane model and use that in defence, that would also be a reification fallacy. Flat Earthers also are guilty of the reification fallacy, Brenda, just not us. In this example, only you.
That's just false. You're just wrong. We don't have. We have a model of the globe.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah,
I'm just so sick of her. We have a model. Is her first opening fucking defense.
Along with nuh-uh.
We have a model. Yeah, we've just explained 6 times that models are reification fallacies if you assert that's what the world is based on a model. I've also explained that if I was to justify flat Earth with that coordinate system described by Quantum Eraser, that would also be a reification. But I'm not doing that, you are. And your defense, nuh-uh, we've got a model. Unbelievable.
Can I say what I was going to say, Nathan, because I think this will help why they want a model. If you can read my screen, this is from thought.com. It says a model is used for situations when it is known that the hypothesis has limitations on its validity. It's easy to debunk a model. That's why they want a model. They want us to give us some representation, and they can go into that model and shoot it down in a way just like we do with their model. So that's why they want that model.
There is no thing as a hypothesis with limited validity. It either is a hypothesis, a viable one, or it's not. Period.
John,
End of story.
Sorry, John, you're breaking up in between. Go to your voice meter, go to menu, and then just refresh the desk. Restart audio engine. But yes, correct. That a hypothesis is a prediction yet to be validated.
How about now? Is it better?
Perfect.
Yes, there is no such animal as a hypothesis with limited validity. It either is a viable scientific hypothesis or it's not. You're either pregnant or you're not. End of story. Thanks.
Indeed. But you're correct, Paul. What they want is to offer us up, get us offering up our own straw men for them to burn with false dichotomy. So they say, I've got a model. What's your model? Oh, that's your model, is it? Well, your model doesn't work. And at this point, we're into a false dichotomy. Your model versus my model. And let's see which one wins. And the winner is going to be our Earth. No, that's a false dichotomy based on 2 reification fallacies held up in false dichotomy. What a mouthful.
Do they even have a model?
Well,
Brenda's still
well
here.
anyway, Simon Den.
That's a good point. Hold on, I want Chocolate to put that to Brenda. She's still here. Go ahead, Chocolate. Do you want to put that to Brenda?
Brenda, can you share your model with us? Because apparently you have a model, right? That's your whole point here. So where's your model?
Well, a good one would be Google Earth.
No, that's been rejected by all of your sides. C shows 150 through 175, where all of your side of this argument rejects Google Earth as being a valid model for their side. Not acceptable by your side, apparently, as a model. No, not a model.
Right.
No, wrong. It's a good model.
Okay.
Wrong.
No worries. No worries. No worries. I'd like to see on Google Earth gravity. I'd like to see conceptual pseudo-Ramonian force space bending in that model. Show me now.
What does gravity have to do with the geometry?
Excuse me. This is supposed to be a model of our Earth, and according to your reification of our Earth, it has gravity, which would be the bending of a conceptual medium known as space-time. I absolutely expect that to be in your model. Is it not in this model?
We're representing the geometry of the Earth.
You aren't representing pseudo-Ramonian force space in your model. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, actually,
no. I'm just saying that
I'm just saying it hasn't got pseudo-Ramonian force space in it, and I expect that to be in your model. If you claim it's part of the world we live in, and you're going to reify. So what you're saying, we should go to this incomplete model? What? Because this model doesn't have gravity, I'm going to assert that gravity isn't real. Reverse reification, right, dick brain that's interrupting?
Yeah, this is where you're incorrect. Number one, a model doesn't have to include every single aspect of it. They just have to be consistent between the aspects. And number two, you can actually see evidence of curvature and therefore, by extension, gravity in the
scientific model. You are incorrect. You need to define a scientific model and then provide citation, please.
No thanks. But what you can do in a model...
Sorry, that's not going to happen on the 1000th show. Sorry, John. Let's just get rid of him immediately. What do you mean, no thanks? This isn't the spew show. You don't come spew your rhetoric and then when challenged, go no thanks. Goodbye, RC Meisty.
Oh, this is the Nathan.
Sorry, you're pretty close to getting kicked out too, Brenda. I'm not going to tolerate any crap. It's 1000th show. Happy days all round. Right? And I'm not going to listen to you. Endless circular reasoning. Spewed over and over again. RC Meisty offered up a claim, and then when challenged said no thanks to the rebuttal. He's no longer welcome because no thanks isn't a satisfactory rebuttal.
So when are you going to debate me, Nathan?
We are debating. You're a moron. Now it's
Oh
time for
my
you to leave.
God.
Clearly, you are literally in the moment of having it pointed out that your claim that you opened up with was a reification fallacy, which you are guilty of, and we are not, because we don't hold up straw men models. But you're going to, what, ask me when we're going to debate? You've just had your ass handed to you. What a stupid idiot.
In a debate.
Yeah, what an idiot. Shout out to Julio Pabon, who says, "Hey Nathan, it's called Romanian foreskin." What? Choked on my own phlegm. What? Julio Pabon. I should read that again. "Hey Nathan, it's called Romanian foreskin." Okay. Thank you very much for the super chat. I'm slightly bewildered by your message.
What?
I don't know. Don't ask.
Oh God, that's
odd, if nothing else. I might be getting Romanian, and maybe I'm saying that a bit wrong. I don't care if that's the case. If it's a dig, then screw you. But I'm sure it isn't. He's just joking. Shout out to Grave Dodger, who says Brenda needs to man up and admit there is no globe proof. Right on. Thank you for the super chats.
So what he was attempting to say is that when you come on this show, or when you go on any show, or you're talking to people and you make claims, you have to support them. Duh. Thanks.
Yeah, no thanks. That gets you kicked out immediately. If anyone sees that as unreasonable, I say unicorns are real. Well, what's your evidence for unicorns? Oh, I'm not going to get into this game with you. What? Gee, that's his reply. No thanks. No, I'm not gonna accept that you've challenged my spew. I just want to spew it. Models are perfectly acceptable so long as they have elements that work in them. They don't have to be complete. That was his argument. Didn't hear a response because he talked over John. Yeah, scientific. That's what we want. Validity offered by science. We've been told for years that we've got scientific evidence of globe being real. The whole body of science supports this notion that we live on a spinning sphere reified by model. And we haven't. There's no scientific evidence. They don't know what science is. They don't know what empiricism is. Didn't add the extra question to the...
I was just going to ask you that, man.
I did forget, but I will add it now. So we would like any valid scientific hypothesis from any realm of astrophysics, cosmology, or I keep forgetting the third one.
Astronomy, astrophysics, and cosmology. One single viable scientific hypothesis ever in the history of those three disciplines. Ever. One. Thanks.
Is Alex still here?
How about scientific evidence supporting evolution?
Red Pill Philosophy says fallacy should be mooted and booted from a proper debate. Good work. Well, yeah, not only fallacy, but complete ignorance of any rebuttal. No thanks. Well, okay. Yeah, I'll go around spewing nonsense about my beliefs in things and then just tell people no thanks when they challenge them. See how that gets me, how far that gets me.
That's the same thing your average village idiot on the corner does, right? Spewing baseless assertions all day, every day without support. So what is the difference between someone that comes on this show and doesn't support their claims between them and a village idiot? Answer, none. They're village idiots. Thanks.
Well, Sam and Dan came back and said he's not debating.
But you're so much clearer on Discord, Flatzoid.
Okay. Maybe I should come on here.
So, come on. 1000th show. Share your pain, fundies. Must be someone out there with a cogent Globe Earth
I don't
argument
think
for
we
us.
ever finished housekeeping.
Where did we get to in housekeeping?
Axial rotation.
Is that it? 2 questions.
Yep.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Nope.
Nope.
In order to get scientific evidence of something, first you have to know what it actually is.
I was hoping conspiracy music guru could sing that one line from his song because it's awesome. But I don't know if he's here or not.
He's still here. He said he'd be in the background.
I'm still here, man. I'm enjoying the show.
Hey, man, hit us one time with the don't believe in gravity, bro, with the voice and all that, please.
Really? Really?
You don't have to. You don't have to.
If you don't want to, you don't have to.
If I was you right now, I'd be cringing and be thinking, "You bastard." That's what I'd be thinking.
I can do it. It's not a problem. I'm just going to grab my guitar. But if you really want to hear that, I mean, I'll play you like a verse or something.
Now, if you're willing,
cool.
Nice.
If you're willing, then that's a totally different story. Everyone else, go on mute, please.
I'm on mute.
I'm on mute too. Just want to repeat Red Pill Philosophy's super chat because it did get sort of rumpus a little bit. So it says fallacies should be mooted and booted from a proper debate. Good work. Yeah, I completely agree.
Hey, give me like 2 minutes to set up here, okay?
I'll buy you some time. That's precisely what I thought would be the case. Excellent. We might be rounding out the live show with a chorus or a verse. Hopefully, we'll see. Excellent.
Congrats on your 1,000th show, brother. I wish you thousands and thousands of more.
Me too.
Outstanding. Great job.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
I hope there's more too.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, when we're at 1,276 or something crazy, it'll seem far less relevant.
I think I might be ready.
Oh, rock and roll. Everyone pop yourselves on mute, please.
Oh shit, my mic just fell down.
Awesome, man.
Okay, let's try again. Yeah. I remember when I learned in school about gravity. It was so cool. I had a teacher that knew it all. She taught me how water could stick to a ball, how buildings stick to the underside of a ball that spins like a carousel ride. Man, it all sounded crazy to me, but I love learning about gravity. I couldn't wait to tell my dad about the amazing day that I had. He picked me up, I was bursting with pride. He opened up the door and I jumped inside. He smiled at me and said, "How was your day?" I said, "Dad, I was blown away because I learned about this magical thing, but it's kind of got my head in a spin. I learned about this Newton guy. When an apple fell on his head, he surmised that there must be a force that's pulling it down, and everything's being sucked to the ground. A force that sticks us all to this ball, the people, the buildings, the oceans, and all. And so it was written in history. Newton had discovered gravity. Well, he just looked at me and he said, "Don't believe in gravity. Don't believe in fantasy, no. Don't believe, cause a theory's all it is. It's never been proven, but they teach it to the kids, yeah." Well, that's all you're getting, man.
And with that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who tuned into this 1,000th live show on the Nathan Oakley live stream. If you are watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980, however, stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. I will also shout out all of you who smashed the super chat. Thank you very much to all who liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Of course, a massive thank you to all of today's G+ and Discord panel for making this debate possible, and a massive shout out to Conspiracy Mystic Guru for playing out this 1000th show. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Woohoo! That was ace.
That was great, Chocolate. Thanks for having him on.
That was just the coolest way
Thank
to end
me.
the 1000th
Thank
show
the man
ever.
himself.
That was so ace.
I already thanked him for sure, but you got the ball rolling, should I say?
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. That was brilliant.
Oh, gosh. It's too much fun.
It's crazy. 1,000 shows when you think about it. My first episode was 143.
Your first episode.
You've been around a
little bit, yeah.
I think I
mean,
came
back
in the
then, back then it was very sporadic. I would come in every once in a while. Just, I had a different job, different time that I could do it. It's not till maybe the past year that I became like a regular.
I think I came in around the 700 mark somewhere. I can't remember.
Yeah, I've lost track too. I think, yeah, a year for me at least.
I haven't been disappointed, that's for sure.
It's been raining super.
Yeah.
Yeah, on my show too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they actually PayPal donated it.
You got chocolate between
Silas, is it feeling good today?
Just between when you chocolate between when you speak, you're gonna have to.
I'm getting some.
It is crazy though, right? When you think about it,
Chocolate,
this has made it 1,000 episods.
Hey,
Right?
chocolate.
And this should have been shut down a long time ago.
Just in between when
You
you're
would
speaking,
think, right?
chocolate. In between when you're speaking, if you can pop yourself on mute because I can't hear what Aaron's replying to you with.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
There's a cool super chat by MC Universe.
If Earth's no, start that again. If Earth's a ball, no 1,000 shows. 1,000 shows, therefore Earth's flat. Congratulations, guys. Here's to show 2,000. Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you very much, MC Universe. I should read them all out. So, Ryan Samet, hope I'm saying your name correctly. Happy 1,000th show, Nathan. Watching for about 250. Worst kind of enemy is the one who believes themselves are right. Yeah, correct. The arrogance of people who come in because they just know they're on a ball. They're the ones that get the worst smashing. Red Pill Philosophy, another shout out to you. Loads of Red Pill Philosophy super chats today. The Earth is flat, the globe is dead. Nathan Oakley, the Globe Slayer. Long live Flat Earth debate. Thank you very much, Red Pill. And last but not least, I am not spinning, but you can think I'm spinning, says Dali on 1 or Dali on 01. Thank you very much indeed. Tap, 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 tap. About 10 minutes left on this after show, so let's not have a really subdued outro to the 1000th show. What's the Ethan Woodley? Increase your enthusiasm now!
Okay.
All right, I want to start.
I have 2 years to go.
I want to start
Yeah,
with my favorite toe
I'm so
tag.
excited. I just can't hide it.
Thanks, Dances with Friends.
Wow, that was great, Babs. Okay, my toe tag favorite of all. Gravity is not a force, but you can think of it as a force.
George Musa, 2019.
George Musser. That's mine, Arwen. I didn't say it was yours. Give us yours.
No, come on, but the really, we don't have to work at the really is level. Nothing really tops that. Come on.
Exactly.
It's so blatant.
Would you not say
in that
But
one
jokes
sentence?
jokes aside, it is, in my opinion, it's very telling that it's been 1,000 shows and there is.
Oh God. What's that?
Really?
Sounds familiar. It's
Really?
a flashback machine.
It's been a while, man.
That's been like at least 2 years.
Where the hell did that come from, though?
Go ahead,
Discord?
Sagan.
So good job there.
Oh my god.
Go ahead, Dances.
Anyway.
Sorry about that.
Come on, toe tags.
My favourite toe tag was Mick West.
Yes, that was a very good one.
It was also one of the first, like, really penetrating victories, where we really got into their corner and just pulled away the curtain abruptly.
Yeah, well,
After that point, they all started to go more nuts.
Go on, Chocolate.
Yeah, Nathan literally got Mick West to admit that R is based on his standard model, an assumption. I mean, that's all. That's it. Thanks. Have a good day. That's the whole point. It's an assumption.
He was honest.
He was never going to not get away with not admitting that. We'd already figured it out to the point where we could argue it really strongly. We had a really good grasp on the argument, so we were going to be the dominant or the aggressive ones in that regard when Mick West came on, because we knew what was what, and we were going to make it plain that they're using the presupposition of R. I mean, now it's just, it's part of the housekeeping, but back then we were quite fresh in that knowledge, weren't we? We just realised how they'd pulled the wool over our eyes with the begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking curve calculator that is perpetuated by Mick West. And we'd figured it out. How have they tricked us? This is how they've done it. They've used perspective and the effects thereof and called them Earth curve and utilised a radius, which is the very thing they're trying to prove, in the presupposition of the calculation itself. So by the time we came to challenge Mick West on it, we knew where he was lying and where he was begging the question. And Anthony's challenge was on the fondly dubbed begging the question fallacy on steroids that is 7/6R terrestrial refraction. Great toe tag.
Yeah, definitely.
You get into the later ones and it's people like, it's just dumbos. Mick West's a smart guy. Bob the fallacy guy's a complete moron. But they're less, it's good to toe tag Bob the fallacy guy, great. But
mine is air is not the atmosphere.
Air is not the atmosphere.
Yeah, that's Rumpus.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, air is not the atmosphere. Rumpus has had so many toe tags. It's getting embarrassing. And the amount of people that tell me that it's being rejected from their own side of globe earthism, whereas go back a couple of years, he was their guru.
John, bring out the soundbite.
1,000 shows and still no. What was that presentation Rumpus was supposed to do about? Sure, what was it? Like 200 or something? Maybe less. I don't even remember what it was supposed to be about, but every time we brought it up, it's I'm 99% done and
I remember
the
what
weather.
No, it was Rumpus's model to explain how the looming was working in the Isle of Man footage.
Correct. North end of the Isle of Man taken from the belly of Anthony Riley on the beach at St. Bees of the north end of the Isle of Man. A slightly looming non-standard refraction high in a holographic projection of the north end of the Isle of Man according to the Rumpus, which is precisely what he was supposed to model. 99% done, apparently. This reification of his model.
I remember Rumpus saying at 5 miles an hour, he's walking at the equator and experiencing Coriolis.
Yeah, I remember that. He's made some pretty dumb assertions.
Yeah.
Can't forget on a clear enough day and a big enough zoom and a bit of Paul's maths. You can see your ass and your own ass in the telescope.
What I find notable about this, the Rumpus, is what sort of authority position does he believe he has to dictate to seasoned astrophysicists what they should say about gravity being a force? Because he finds it inconvenient when seasoned astrophysicists will say that, yeah, gravity is not a force because it works again the argument that he's trying to make through the internet. So
the secular thermodynamics does not apply to the Earth.
Does he believe that he can groom them, or what's going on here?
You on record saying that. It's just...
Where have you got me on record saying that entropy doesn't apply to the Earth? I'd never say such a thing. The secular thermodynamics does not apply to the Earth.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
that laugh, man.
Classic.
And so
Rumpus.
fresh.
So stupid.
You know what the worst part is that's not even like a throwback from, let's say, show 200 or something. That just happened. It's
Well,
recent.
you know what else just happened? And it was a few minutes ago. When are you going to come and debate me, Nathan?
Oh my God.
This is a debate show. We are debating.
Well, maybe Rumpus could give it another go.
He's only got one tactic. Come here and make an assertion, probably with a little disclaimer that's quite damning, and then Rumpus the crap out of every single rebuttal that comes. This is his only tactic. It's his namesake.
Would you care to test that prediction scientifically?
With that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who did tune in on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream, for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next 1000th video. Bye.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!